And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. Kyle is here. He don't want to be asked how he's doing. Because I don't know. I don't know why. But anyway, we'll get into our first topic. Dune Part 2 has made $182 million worldwide and its opening weekend. Fuck yeah. I think this had a budget of about 190 million. One thing I will... You want to be asked questions? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Right. One thing I will ask you is... what do you think the success is from? Positive word of mouth. Obviously, they're not doing that day and date release on HBO Max as well when the film first comes out. What do you think of the factors for the opening weekend here?
Word of mouth and just obviously the first one was successful and it's got a lot of star power in it as well. There's loads of factors in it, to be honest. You know, people are saying for especially part 2, it's the greatest sci-fi movie ever and all this shebang. It's like one of the best movies like ever. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that people are sort of getting from it is word of mouth and reviews from just everywhere.
Yeah. Like I say, when you're getting reviews that are saying like this is not just the best sci-fi film in the last 10 years, it's possibly one of the greatest films of the last 10 years, possibly one of the greatest films of all time. People are going to be interested, people are going to want to go see it. I know a lot of people that I work with who didn't watch the first Dune have been catching up on Netflix because it's on Netflix, the first Dune. So a lot of people have been watching that now, and it's like, you lucky bastards, not having to wait fucking 3 years to get into the next one, and just having that. Oh, gotta wait 3 years. But they're
just looking at the budget though for the second film. It's 190 million dollars.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I didn't even know this, but I'm surprised. The first one, part 1, had 165 million, if I'm not mistaken. Budget estimated 165 million, so it's not far off the first one, from the second. To be honest,
no, it's not. And you know, a lot of things you could probably account in that as maybe contracts. You know, because they didn't film them back to back. Like maybe some stars got some more money to come back for the second one. But
I'm just saying, like the CGI in the first part some of it was good, and then there was some bits that looked really weird. You know, especially that flash forward scene with Paul fighting in that suit. That looked really, really bad. But the rest of the film looks great, but there's just like a couple things here and there that look a bit odd. But in part 2, you know, obviously it does have a slightly bigger budget, but none of it looks bad. Like, I can't think of a single scene in the entire film where I'm like, I don't believe this.
I credit that to as well is time.
Mm.
You know, you got to think we was in the middle of a global pandemic.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's strange I understand why it happens. You know, there's not just obviously time, but there's the fact of they've already got the technology to do it. They're just basically upgrading it now.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's weird to look at because it looks like the first one doesn't look like it's got a massive, super big budget, but the sequel does, if that makes sense.
I think the first one looks like a big budget-ish film. Especially when I saw it in IMAX.
Just sand.
When I saw it in IMAX the first time, like, that film is beautiful, and so is this film. But yeah, no, I would say it's big budget. What did it come out with? I think it finished around nearly 400 million worldwide.
Part 1?
Part 1.
Part one, box office. Let's have a look. See, we should really have these numbers up, anyways. But so 434 million, which, you know, it's...
Who needs the
There's
numbers?
almost...
I've got it here. We'll just trust what I'm saying next time.
Yeah. It's... I mean, obviously, this one is going to do much better, I believe. It's kind of like... It's like, look at Iron Man. Iron Man 1, that did okay. And then, obviously, later on, in further sequels and things like that, that obviously got more money and things like... Same with Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man made... the second one cracked $1 billion, so...
Well,
you know, it wouldn't surprise me if this cracked $1 billion, because, you know, the first one is on Netflix as well.
It's possible.
Which I think is one of the best things they've done, because everyone has Netflix. Everyone's got Netflix. It's like one of the most subscribed streaming services out there. It's not up for rental or anything like that. It's not, you know, it's not on some other streaming thing that you probably don't have. It's on the most common Netflix subscription. So it's like, oh, I'll watch the first one, see if I like it. And obviously people fucking love the first one. Yeah. So they're like, oh, I want to see the second one now.
Speaking of tiers of subscription, there's an ad Netflix tier now, isn't there? Which... I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, there is. Someone I work with's got it. And they said they were watching... They said they were watching Dune Part 1, and halfway through film, they kept getting trailers for Dune Part 2.
That's sick.
It's like saying, I'll avenge my father and stuff like that. He's like, his dad didn't even die, didn't film yet. This is Part 1, so it's alright, we can spoil it.
That's funny.
No.
Yeah. Well, we've seen it twice.
Which we didn't do with Part 1.
What's that?
Which we didn't do with Part 1.
I wanted to, you just refused to.
Because I didn't want to watch it again just yet. I was just like, with a film like that, and it's Part 1, it's like, oh, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to leave me wanting the next part even more.
I would have loved to have seen it again, just because I loved it the first time round. I just couldn't watch it properly. I was very, like, you know, I was kind of with my eye.
Yeah, you had teabag eyes
infection at the time. Yeah. But I watched it as soon as it came out on streaming services and stuff like that. I think it came out to Now TV first. Yeah, obviously, it was on Prime to buy, but I don't really buy too many movies. I just, because they're on like loads of streaming services now.
You get so many options these days. Like, I remember on my old Xbox account, I had like every MCU film right up until Disney Plus.
The entirety of Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, right up until Disney Plus came out, and I've just stopped buying. Digital films and stuff.
Well, that's what they want, though, don't they? You know, they'd rather you be locked in a streaming service. But yeah, I think when all these films come out, I'm definitely adding it to my Amazon Prime collection. Like, I've got a couple
physical collection of this. I'd say this is worthy of it.
I would as well, but for me, I don't really go for physical stuff anymore. I don't even have the fucking room anymore, anyways. So,
gotta get the room for Hot Toys.
It's definitely going to be something I'm going to buy, you know, when the whole trilogy is out, or even if we get the whole film, something like that.
I think it will stop with Messiah.
You think?
Yeah, Villeneuve's already said that's his last, and I can't imagine any of this cast would want to return, even though it's going to be set a lot further in the future after Messiah, from what I believe. I don't think they'd do it without him.
I think he would come back and do it. I know he says it now, but you know, money talks. Let's be real. Yeah. Money does talk, and if he's got the fuel left in the tank to make it, maybe he might leave it a little while. Maybe he might do a film in between, or 2 films even in between.
Well, after this, they will probably give him the budget to a film that he really wants to make. Which, that's not, you know, Messiah is a film he really wants to make. He's already written it. It's ready to go. It's been greenlit. This will give Messiah a bigger budget. And the best thing about Messiah is, as well, from what I've heard, Dune's like that thick of a book. Messiah's like that thick. So he can really get it all in there, in one film as well. So he won't have to worry about part 1 of Messiah and part 2 of Messiah. He can get it all in one, if he wants.
I still feel like part 2 could have even been split into 2 parts, which I wouldn't have been I wouldn't have been bothered by it, because it's such a big story. That's like, that's something I would have been fine with. But he managed to squeeze it all into one film, which is very impressive.
Well, they managed to
keep a
squeeze
nice
it,
pace.
the full book into 2 films.
Well, yeah.
Which is still pretty good.
I'm saying the second half of it, though.
Yeah. But, like we say about one of our criticisms of Zack Snyder is, I love Zack Snyder as a filmmaker, and it's, if you give that man unlimited runtime, he can do some pretty good stuff. But I'd always counter with that is, but a better director could tell that same story in a shorter amount of time effectively.
It depends. Like I've been watching a couple of things, and people talk about, other Dune adaptations that they've done in the past, and I think we've had like 2 movies and a TV show, and they've always
had a movie and a TV show with we got the 1984.
I don't know if it's 1 or 2 film, but anyways, they were saying like, how they've cut out some certain scenes from the book. I don't think it really affects it because it's an adaptation of it. It's not a copy and paste.
It's an adaptation, and it tells the story. It gets the main message across from the book, which is what it does by the end of this film.
It's like when you look at The Last of Us. Yeah, it's a copy and paste basically, but they add stuff on top of it. Dune doesn't need that. Dune has already got all that extra stuff on it. It's stuff they're gonna have to like just shave off a little bit just to make it fit a film format. That's all.
Yeah, no, definitely. Can we say how much we struggled to get into seeing this for a second time this weekend as well?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
No, it were packed. I didn't check. Do you know what? To be fair, we didn't check the other screens. We only checked the IMAX screens throughout the day, but they was all full. And to me, if the IMAX screens are all full, all the other ones are going to be full, because not everyone's first choice is, let's go pay more. Because the average going movie audience is just like...
I was speaking to a friend at work, actually, and they were saying, they're going to see the movie in IMAX as well. I'm like, good. Yeah. This is an IMAX film. So yeah, if I have to say anything anyways, is if you're going to go see Dune Part 2 this weekend, get Dune Part 1 watched it on the best screen you possibly can, and then go see Dune Part 2 in IMAX. Don't go see it in the normal cinema. If you have to go see it in the normal cinema, fine. But try your best to go see it in IMAX. It is a visual treat, and you'll have so much fun. You'll have a great time with it.
I know what we're doing when it comes out. Full day, takeaway, Part 1, Part 2, back to back.
I'm doing that.
Non-stop.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But yeah, this is great because it just means we're going to get more money for the next film. Not more money isn't always great, but with someone like Denis Villeneuve who clearly can work with a budget like that and not let it go too crazy and work within them restraints, that's all right. Denis Villeneuve, give him all the money. Give him all the money for all the original films he wants to make as well. But yeah, anyway.
Except anything to do with Blade.
You don't want him to do Blade?
Blade Runner, sorry.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
They might let him have another crack at another Blade Runner.
I'd like them to.
Yeah.
I really would like them to.
But right. Hugh Jackman. This is coming from My Time to Shine.
Can I just say, why has Iron Man got katanas?
Just because I'm lazy as fuck and I can't be asked editing them out.
I actually watched Logan last night.
I watched Interstellar last night.
Weird.
Yeah. Which I just didn't even think about it and I turned it on. 2014.
What did you watch it on?
Now TV. I turned it on.
That's a film I bought. That's a masterpiece of a film for me. That's one I bought. That's what I'm going to do for Dune.
And funny enough, there was a young Timothée Chalamet in there.
Yeah.
From 10 years ago, I was like, what the fuck?
I remember seeing, I think it was like an interview of him saying, loads of his scenes were cut from the film, and he was a little saddened by it. But I'm like, mate, you're winning now. You're winning. Yeah.
But
he's an up and coming next Tom Holland, I think.
I think he surpassed Tom Holland in acting ability, and especially with Dune. Tom hasn't had success outside of Spider-Man, which is... I love Tom, but he hasn't had success outside of Spider-Man. Chalamet's getting award recognition and everything. I think he'll have much more longevity. But Holland still bags Zendaya, so who's really winning? But yeah, Hugh Jackman. This is coming from My Time to Shine. Hello. Big Scooper. He has told Marvel Studios he will return to Avengers Secret Wars under one condition. He wants scenes with Toby and RDJ. That's what he wants. This man is a fan. He knows what the fans want. Just how orgasmic would you get if you saw Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, and Hugh Jackman as Wolverine all together in one scene? Because these guys are kind of the pillars of their own universes. I'm not going to ask you if you want to see it, because I know you want to see it. I'm going to ask you how likely do you think it is going to happen, and do you think it'll be a quick scene, or do you think they'll probably spend a majority of the film together?
I think with obviously Marvel have got. I think Marvel had this idea to do something like this anyways, but I think now they're really going to have to fall on it because of the Kang situation and obviously with the situation of Marvel as a whole.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them winning fans back this way at all. If they've got this in their arsenal, fire it.
I mean, it's the perfect time to really use it as well because it worked. It worked for, obviously, it's working for Deadpool 3. It worked for Spider-Man No Way Home. And, you know, it's going to be a big film, so just go all in.
I'd say it kind of worked for Multiverse of Madness as well, not in quality-wise of the film, but in terms of box office, that nearly made $1 billion.
Yeah, it definitely helped the film. I'd say, bring it on. Let's do it. Just do it properly, though. Don't do it for the sake of cameo-ness. Just have them be a major part of it.
Yeah. No, but how excited are you as well that Hugh Jackman is, like, personally requesting this? He got his Ryan Reynolds. He's got that. Which, when I was watching Deadpool 2 the other day, I wasn't watching Deadpool 2. I was showing someone the post-credit scene who never saw it because I was explaining how actually the end of Deadpool 2 works quite well with what the MCU has turned into. And I was like, what? I never even knew that. And showed him post-credit scene. It was someone at work. And yeah, when he's speaking to Wolverine, he's like, one day your old pal Deadpool's going to ask you to get back in the sack or something like that. He's like, say yes. So
I was showing. Actually, I was watching. Do you know what's funny enough? I was watching those scenes as well, like a week ago or something.
Yeah.
I just wanted to rewatch them. I also watched the Bob Ross Deadpool painting. I still think that's like the best thing I've ever seen on YouTube.
But Hugh Jackman, he's got to be in touch with his fan side a little bit. You know, he wants to work with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He wants to work with Tobey Maguire. He knows how big that could be with them three.
It'd break absolute records.
Well, also, let's not lie, Hugh Jackman will probably be able to negotiate a little bit of a percentage of the box office into his contract as well. So if this happens in the film, this man will probably be set for life as well. But I still think he wants it.
Yeah, but I'm saying this movie, I think, do you know what, it'd even crack Endgame. I really think it would.
Opening weekend, I don't think any film's touching that for years.
No,
I will make a friendly, 2027 thingy's coming out. We've got this on film. I'll make a friendly hot toy bet with you on this. I just don't see another film cracking that because no film's come close since Endgame, and it jumped. The closest film to it is still like $100 million behind it. So maybe in 2027 that's a bit more of a normal number, but I don't see a film cracking this anytime soon.
I think it will, because it's going to definitely bring in a lot of goodwill for fans, and
Maybe
that's what they need.
overall box office. I'm thinking, yeah, it could get up to that near 3 billion, but opening weekend, no shot. No shot. It's doing a 360 million opening weekend.
I mean, shit. If they build up some, if they build this up, from now, which is what they're doing, just have a nice clean slate and just go with it. I think it could. I really think it could, because look at the success of Deadpool. He's done nothing but grown and grown and grown, and you've now put Deadpool 3 would have been massively successful without Wolverine, but with Wolverine, you're going to go above and beyond with it now.
I do think Deadpool 3 will hit 1 billion.
Yeah, easily.
I think that's the guaranteed $1 billion film of the year. But, when it comes to Marvel movies now, it used to be, that's going to be guaranteed over so much. And, that's going to make so much as well. But when you come to the last film that came out, Marvel Studios, the Marvels, didn't even crack 200 million. Which is coming from a studio where the Avengers made that in a weekend. The first Avengers film made that in a weekend.
I know, but let's be real here. Not a lot of people quite like those characters or well known those characters, and they just hear nothing but shit.
Yeah.
Deadpool 3, when Deadpool 3 come out, when it comes out, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, like, it's amazing, like, Marvel's back, and Marvel's doing this and that, and, it's going to spread the word.
Search what Deadpool 1 and 2 made at opening weekend. I believe Deadpool 1 was 160 million. I believe. I could be wrong there. I could be wrong. And I think Deadpool 2 came in just underneath that with 132 million.
Weekend.
Let's see. Let's see.
Can't put weekend, but it's putting weed.
Marijuana.
Deadpool weed. Weekend box office. Opening weekend, Deadpool 132 million.
Oh, so right, I've probably got them. I knew 132 were up there somewhere in my head.
And the second one got 125 million.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I will bang on with one of them just for wrong film. So yeah, that's why we do refer to the internet sometimes.
The interwebs.
What film came out in 2016? Comic book film. 160. See what Captain America Civil War's opening weekend was right now. I'm pretty sure that was 160 million for 2016.
Okay, just bear with me.
No, Captain America was 180 million.
Was it definitely 2016?
Yeah.
2016 weekend box office. Alright. Doctor Strange 230.
What is that, worldwide?
I think so.
Yeah, that'll be worldwide.
It says domestic.
230? No, it didn't.
Gross.
So that'll be its.
I don't know. This is a bit shit. Hang on.
That'll be its domestic gross overall.
Yeah, probably. So what am I searching for?
Captain America Civil War opening weekend. This has got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but I'm just genuinely interested.
Was it 160 million, you said?
I think it was 160 or 180.
Because Batman v Superman made that.
160? It
says here, I'm very confused about this, because it's got two dates on this. 27th of March, 3rd of April. For Batman v Superman. Broke the Hunger Game records. Right, okay. Civil War, here we go. 179.
Right, so that was the 180.
Well, that's on the 8th of May, but on the 15th of May it says 72 million, so I don't
That's
really
his second
understand.
weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 170.
All
let's
right.
just say 100.
All right, sorry for this weekend box office.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's just showing you how far the MCU has fallen. No, I love the MCU. I love it. Still.
Fucking shit.
It's hard though, isn't it, to compare the Marvel films we've had as of late, and I'm just walking out of Dune, and it's like that Dune is cinema, and I wouldn't.
I think this will do very, very well. It wouldn't surprise me if it cracked the Endgame record because you've got everything there. You just need to
make it good.
Make it good. Yeah.
And you need to make it good, but also you need to have a track record of solid films leading up to it. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So they need to build up trust again, and I think they can do that. It's just gonna, it's gonna take a little while.
But and then again, the MCU's last three projects, I liked Echo, hated the Marvels, and I loved Loki. So.
Yeah, just talking about films though, like ever since Disney have kind of like said, right, we're fixing things now. The first thing we're getting is Deadpool 3, and it looks like they are fixing things.
And I think they do need to go back to a cinematic focus.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we'll make shows for characters like Daredevil who are better treated that way in a TV format. But yeah, no. Secret Wars, that's what Hugh Jackman wants. Hugh Jackman, you shall get what you want. Hopefully. For all the nerds' sakes. But, Kyle. Our next topic is going to be a little bit of a Callum persuasion. I know you haven't started it yet. And you said you are going to watch it. I would, we get a new episode tomorrow of this. I'd kind of like you to watch it, and then we can probably talk about it week to week as well.
Fuck off, die. I do want to watch it. I am very excited. I'm just in the middle of the final season of Thrones at the moment. I'm doing this is my third or fourth rewatch.
But the longer you leave it, the more it's going to be a one-a-week thing, because then you're going to have 4 episodes to catch up on, and then by the end of it, it's a 10-episode show, I believe, and it's going to be 10 episodes that'll be at the bottom of your backlog. I say you watch 2 tonight, 1 tomorrow, and then we can start talking about it weekly.
Well, I've got right. Let me get through Thrones because I've only got, I think it's 4 episodes left. I think I'm on the Battle of Winterfell. Long night.
All right.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that. I turned it off because I got a little bored. But I just watched some Game of Thrones lore on YouTube. I've got my entertainment out of that. But I do want to watch this. It does look really good, and it's kind of like good. It's pushed aside what I wanted to watch after Thrones because I was going to watch. I think it was. I was going to watch For All Mankind. I was rewatching all of that because the new seasons are coming out, or the new seasons have come out. So this is now like just push that aside. I'm still going to watch For All Mankind. If you haven't watched it, it's fucking great. But this is now like, I need to fucking watch this now. So that's all I'll say. I don't know much about it, but I've heard from you. It's pretty damn good, and with the reviews and stuff, it just seems like a really great TV show. Seems like the perfect TV show.
This is the Dune equivalent on TV right now. Dune, the best of cinema, probably the best we're going to get all year, probably for the next 5 years.
What's the episode length?
First one was 1 hour and 10. Second one was an hour.
Nice beefy episode.
Nice beefy episodes. We'll have to see tomorrow what the third episode is, but I'm hooked. I've been fucking... The only thing that's made me not think about Shogun so much was that Dune were coming out. But now that that's out the way, we've seen it twice, all I can think now is next episode of Shogun, next episode of Shogun, next episode of Shogun. Because they did a 2-episode premiere. And it's fantastic. I wouldn't say I'm brainy enough to review Shogun, but that's why I want you to have watched it as well, so at least we could sit down and have a discussion about it.
If you're not brainy enough for it, I certainly ain't.
Kyle, mate, look at the size of that noggin. If you ain't got brains in there, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I don't know. Maybe like Garfield.
Garfield. Well,
Yeah.
funny you should mention Garfield. I made Kyle watch the Garfield trailer
This is just a joke, isn't it?
for no reason, because we're not going to talk about it and we're going to end the show here.
I fucking hate you. I said, so before the show started, come on, what, you need to watch it. And I'm like, alright, okay. I thought, this is either a really good prank, a really good joke, or the film actually looks decent. And I should have gone with my gut, because it was just, fucking hell. It's a kid's film, okay? Okay. I can imagine kids are going to love this, but as an animated film, it's not one of those animated films where I'm like Spider-Verse or, even Mutant Ninja Turtles. I haven't seen that yet, but I do want to watch that.
Good, did that? Yeah, I do want to watch that.
But this is just, like
this is,
it's for kids.
A lot of people gave Chris Pratt shit last year for Mario, the voice in that. Now, I don't know where all this hate for Chris Pratt came from online. It's like, he seems like
a cool farm.
He owns a farm.
He owns a farm. It's something to do with religion.
Oh, it lost me at religion. But yeah, he seems like a nice guy in every interview he does. Seems like a genuine guy. People who tell you they've met him and stuff all say he's a nice guy. But yeah, if you're fucking voicing this, he just collected a paycheck. I can tell you that much.
I mean, shit. It's a recognizable voice, but it's kind of like. It's really demolished a little bit of Chris Pratt's reputation for me, because, this could have gone to someone else that would have better suited the role. Same with Mario. I've not watched Mario, but I'm quite baffled as to why they didn't just get the original Mario voice actor.
You know why they do it, don't you? It's recognizable name for parent to see. Animated film for child.
Yeah, but I just feel like they could have gone with someone a bit better. Like, I feel like Jack Black, who played Bowser, was a great choice. It flowed with how Bowser's seen in the trailers.
As Garfield as well. Jack Black as Garfield would have been fucking sick.
I think that would have been a little bit better. That's not to shit on Chris Pratt. I love him as Emmett from the Lego Movie.
Yeah, he can voice act.
Yeah.
It's
just, I feel like it's a bit overused.
Like
but at the end of the day, he's making money. I guess he can watch this with his kids, so that's a nice touch to it. Yeah. But still, I'm just like...
We love you, Chris Pratt. You'll always have a place on my shelf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bet you can't.
Do you know what that reminds me, actually? What the fuck is happening with Star-Lord in the MCU, then? Because wasn't he supposed to get like some sort of his own movie or show?
There was a rumour of a solo Star-Lord film based on Earth. Like James Gunn said that him and Chris Pratt just threw around the idea a bit, see if they could come up with something. And it was supposed to be like Star-Lord on Earth fighting crime, but with like space technology.
I think that'd be a really... It sounds better as a show.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And it would have been the legendary Star-Lord, which is why they ended Guardians 3 with the legendary Star-Lord will return, which I do believe Chris Pratt will return in the role in some form. But,
He'll return in What If that's what they meant.
Yeah. Funny enough, though, Mahershala Ali, he's going to be in Marvel Zombies as Blade before his film even fucking comes out.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But anyway.
Well, I mean, we kind of made this just a random topic thing, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Garfield. So I didn't even read it. Cinema. Yes, this is going to be in cinema.
We'll just talk. All I'm going to say is that Dune Awakening game they're coming out with.
I've not looked at that yet. I've looked at the announcement when they were talking about it and they showed a bit of gameplay.
Now, there's a new gameplay trailer. My only problem with it is, I think we can both say one of the things we both love about the Dune franchise is the reliance on melee weapons, how they've writ around that and made it so people have to fight with swords most of the time, especially in the big houses in their combat, because they've got the shields they can deploy. It kind of looks like they're missing the point a bit in the game. It's like everyone's got a firearm.
Yeah, I know there is obviously firearms in the game, but I also know that they want to make sure there's an emphasis on weapons. But just from what I've seen, I've not seen the latest. This was, God knows, like 8 months ago, what they've shown. So it could have changed by then, or that could have been even older gameplay that I've seen. I don't see how melee combat's going to work with how they set out the game. Because it's PvP and PvE, so PvE, I get it, you can work melee into that, but working melee into something like that, you're going to need like a really refined system. It's kind of like as messy as it can be, it's got a bit of a lock-onness to it, and it feels good, even though it feels a bit random.
Are you going to talk about Red Dead's?
I am going to talk about Red Dead.
Red Dead's online player versus player melee combat is amazing.
Yeah, I think the only criticism I have for that is just the knife combat. Because as soon as you whip out the knife, it's like, you're dead.
Over, yeah. But it does it in a nice animation, at least. And with a couple of different animations.
I think it'd be interesting if it was like you get a good hit and you got to like spam the button to like push the blade in through the shield.
But yeah, that's the thing. I think if they put the shields on, that's where the melee combat can really work.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway. Garfield, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
How have we gone from fucking Garfield to knives and shields? Jesus Christ. There's something wrong with us.
There's something wrong with us. Right. We have been Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. Kyle, how are we doing today?
Fuck off.
Why pull faces like that, bro?
Because I can.
Alright, mush.
But, yeah.
Anything you want to add before we go?
Get on Helldivers. We need to win. We need to defeat the automatons.
Get to Malevolent Creek right now.
I think it's already fallen,
Alright, leave Malevolent Creek alone.
But apparently it's all a lie because Joel intervened.
Fucking Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah, bastard. Drop your PlayStation tags in the comments and we'll play Helldivers with you.
Yeah, man.
Kyle will.
I won't shoot you in the back, I promise. Much.
Gantz?
What?
Gantz the demon?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Movies and Beyond, whatever. Subscribe, like, whatever. Tell us your opinions on Garfield, and God, I fucking...
Yeah, review it for us, because we're not going to fucking watch it.
I fucking love my life up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But, yeah, right, see you all later.